10 states, as I said, on Friday started their early voting the day that we lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
But to be clear, you're not taking any arrows out of your quiver. You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning. We have a responsibility. We take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. We have a responsibility to meet the needs of the American people. When we weigh the equities, protecting our democracy requires us to use every arrow in our quiver.
Now, from the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Speaker Pelosi, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Well, as you say, that is a matter for the Senate, but I will say this. It's really important for everyone to get out there and vote. The day that Justice passed away, 10 states started early voting that day. We just want everyone across the country who cares about health care for all Americans, who cares about crushing the coronavirus, who cares about a woman's right to choose, who cares about LGBTQ rights. The list goes on and on. To vote. The election is very important. Let me just remind that when we had the Lilly Ledbetter case, which was the Supreme Court, the court ruled against women in the workplace. Justice Ginsburg wrote the dissent. That dissent became the Lilly Ledbetter law, the first bill signed by Barack Obama. So the Congress has the ability to overturn the injustices that spring from the Supreme Court, and that's why we have to have a big turnout in this election. Not for politics, not for anything other than what it means to people in their homes, in their lives.
You are in the middle of negotiations over government funding. The government runs out of funding at the end of September. Is there any way you can use leverage in those negotiations to slow this nomination down?
Well, none of us has any interest in shutting down government. That has such a harmful and painful impact on so many people in our country. So I would hope that we can just proceed with that. There is some enthusiasm among some exuberance on the left to say, let's use that, but we're not going to be shutting down government. Well, we have our options. We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss right now. But the fact is, we have a big challenge in our country. This president has threatened to not even accept the results of the election with statements that he and his henchmen have made. So right now, our main goal, and I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg would want that to be, would be to protect the integrity of the election as we protect the American people from the coronavirus. And I have faith in the American people on this Sunday morning. I hope and pray we have a vaccine and that it will be soon, but it must be safe and efficacious when we do, not one day sooner, not one day later. Again, when people say, what can I do? You can vote, you can get out the vote, and you can do so as soon as possible. Many
of your colleagues have called for, again, if a majority has voted for Democrats in November, expanding the court in retaliation. Your response?
Well, let's just win the election. Let's hope that the president will see the light. Again, there's many people in our country, and millions more now because of the coronavirus, who have a pre-existing medical condition. The president has not been truthful in what he has said about that. We have a great deal at stake here. I think we should be very calm. We should be inspired by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was brilliant, and she was strategic, and she was successful. And she did more for equality for women in our country than anyone that you can name. And the women appreciate that, and I think that you will see women weighing in on all of these decisions, be they elections, confirmations, or the rest.
Madam Speaker, thanks very much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.